Carla,
Yes,
um, epigenetics, does that reflect, because it's transferred from the mother, could that also affect you in your life and your experiences?
to the child who's born.
Yeah,
Yes,
through the life and that, yeah.
yeah.
So are you then living like part of her life, what she had and experienced,
You'll have some reaction.
merged into your own? Yeah.
You'll have some reactions because generally, if something like that is going to be written over, a lot of times it's a a negative response or a frightened response or a terrorized response or whatever. Okay. In other words, it's very dynamic but emotionally um, troubling. Let's just put it that way. And so that creates a fear or a response, a written response uh, on the individual to start with. And then they have found that it transfers that same response, that same drive, and so on and so forth to the child. And that's at least United States research. I don't know if they've done it anywhere else, but I deal with people who are in that world, and they've come to me and said, I don't know, 2 3 years back, that the epigenetics and the writing over the DNA, because they all think DNA is somehow everything, and in a sense it is, but not in the genomic way that they objectively see this and that. There's more to it than that. In terms of, yes, if you don't have that pattern, if you don't have DNA, you're not getting here. What are you? You're a combination of the two parents of and their DNA, and then you become another combination of that, taking some from here, and some from there. So sometimes you have this color eyes like dad, and somebody else is, but there's and it is the physical. We're talking about the physical, period. Because when you leave and you're reborn again, and if you're reborn the normal way that most of us are, then it's another combination of two parties' DNA that are going to create the body for you, and so on and so forth down through time. It's obviously key. I mean, it gives you the body, so we all pretty much look alike. We have a degree of uniformity: arms, legs, torso, head. For the most part, we basically have the same structure. Some are taller than others, and some have short legs, and some have high waisted, and all of that. But principally, we all know we came from this planet.
Thank you.
And we don't seem to be designing anybody else from other outer spaces coming and looking like us. We generally classify them as looking different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, it transfers. That was the significant thing that they were very surprised at. First of all, they were surprised you had epigenetics, because they didn't realize that until relatively recently, that you've got the rewrite.
Thank you.
And I mean, and they really attributed a lot to genes, because the guy you're talking about, Donnie, that you asked me about with the resonating, is also the one who, and he went to Stanford. So he had a great education, and he taught there. And then, but he felt that he was unlovable because of his genes.
Yeah, Joe Dispenza is his name. Yeah.
That's not the one I'm thinking of, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Same principle. But, and that's really not, I think probably somebody just told him, I think some girl told him or something, no, you're just too needy.
Oh, I know who you're thinking about, the guy who wrote the other book. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Biology of Belief guy.
Right. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is they used to attribute all of that kind of stuff. He truly, as an educated professor, believed that his problem, his unlovability, was just his genes. Well, it was his personality.
Yeah, he's not the most handsome guy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that wasn't it. But I mean, to attribute that to your genes,
Uh,
is putting a lot of pressure on genes.
he's quite lovely now.
Oh, you mean the biology of belief guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah.
he shortly thereafter found out that wasn't the case, and then amazingly, he found the love of his life. Can you imagine that?
It's Bruce Lipton, by the way, Dr. Bruce Lipton.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway,
Kim, if you didn't read his book, Biology of Belief, I don't know if you did or not, but he does an audio book and he reads it himself, which is nice.
I'll do that then. Bruce Lipton.
Bruce Lipton, yeah.
Now, let's cover very quickly. Is it the right eye that's the mind? The left eye that's the Buddhic plane?
I think right eye is the Buddhic.
Is it? Okay, whichever one it is.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, each of your senses processes some for different purposes. Okay. And in terms of reading material, it's one of the eyes is the Buddhic plane. It is where the information goes. The other eye sends it to the mental plane. And so your audible is designed to calculate something totally different. It'll take that sound integrating with what it sees if you get into twin dimensions to coordinate where that object is. And so the early development would have been looking for prey, animals looking for prey, because this gets developed for a long time before humans even come around or humans get it. So what I'm saying is the audible doesn't send it to your mind. You're going to hear it, but you're not really building it in. So reading.
So he's got he gets DK does get very technical about that whole the combinations, but the left eye is related to the throat center or active intelligence. The eye of the mother, the personality. The right eye, the ajna center, love, buddhi. The eye of the sun, the soul, hierarchy. And then the third eye to the head center, the will or atma, the eye of the father, monad, shambhala.
But there's somewhere else where he deals with these two and the Buddhic and the mental plane too in the material.
Yeah.
Because you'll get to, there's so much information in those books, and sometimes I don't want to say they contradict each other, but they add more here and there that you have to really look at and say, okay, now how do I put all this together? Because over here it says this, and over here it says that. But because these senses are made to do different things, and we're built that way. It depends where you want the material, what it's going to do. But if you want to build in that mental stuff, you need to use your eyeballs.
It sounds silly, but the other day I was looking out the window, and I can't explain how it happened, but I was looking out the eye separately, the left eye separately, and at the same time, and it was just felt really weird,
Very interesting.
It is, isn't it? Because I was looking at it and I was thinking, wow.
And to give you an idea, because I had a daughter who had an advanced stage very relatively young, her late teens and early, I suppose, a recapitulation in a sense. And so she was in a altered state, I think, in some respects, but yet she was functioning every day. Blah, blah, blah. And she said, I realized that I was driving, but I was not seeing out of my eyes. I was seeing, but not seeing out of my eyes.
Mm.
I was getting, so, and yeah, and those things happen.
Yeah, I've experienced that.
Yeah. So and we do have different experiences because we're all unique combinations that are changing around all the time. And the developmental stages of where we are and what we're doing are all different for everybody, depending upon their, composition and what's working how, and because everybody has a unique combination. I mean, it's like the lottery. Okay, here's this set. Well, that's that one. Okay, and whoop, here they are. That's that one. Kind of thing. We're jumbled up like that. We don't have simplistically programmable, well, everybody's on the same page, because they're not. We're all unique.
Mm.
They're fun to talk about, though. It's interesting to hear the people's experiences.
Yeah. And some have more phenomena than others.
Mm.
I've driven a car where I knew that something else was there and looking out, and I thought, wow. And I could see like 5 seconds ahead. It was really weird. And it was a good job because as I approached this junction, I was aware that this car was going to pull out, and I was just braking just as I was heading up to the junction. It was, really weird experience, but nice. It wasn't horrible anything. It was just natural.
Yeah. A lot of times it is natural enough so that it's not frightening or anything. It's
No.
just,
Sometimes you can feel with your eyes like a vibration. So I don't know how to explain it. So sometimes you feel that your eyes are seeing something, but you're not. That's so I'm thinking, well,
my next set of paperwork I send you, I'll probably explain that.
Okay, thank you.
You got your sonar going.
And I'd like to thank everybody for the gift as well. Thank you.
Yep.
I've read it, first part.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Yeah, very good. So some of this, what you've been talking about, makes sense to what I received. Yeah. So yeah, thank you.
That's the softest one. The others will be articles that are going to come.
That's nice.
Yeah.